Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning to these videos. And in this video, I'm going to be speaking about a topic that has been going around social media right now. And it's about this guy who goes by the name Adam22. And if you don't know who he is, he's a YouTuber, is on social media, and he invites a lot of influential people, especially that of the nation of Israel, which are so-called Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, like a lot of rappers and what have you. And he would bring them on his platform, and they would do interviews or whatever. So this guy Adam22, he's an influencer, and you always see him at the forefront of all these social media outlets. Like this topic, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen or heard about this. This Edomite, obviously this guy's an Edomite. He pretty much, got married with this woman, and then did something controversial. And this right here is just more of an example, and that this is the Edomite that is profane, and he's lower than the beasts of the field, and he's not gonna do right. As soon as this devil is born, he's going to be speaking lies. He's literally made crooked. And right here, we're seeing his actions show forth what type of person he is. And this is the devil that's currently ruling the earth. And as the ruler is, so are the people. And he's pushing that vibration of debauchery, pretty much, among other things. And I was watching the brother from Vegas, GMS Vegas Sit Downs 144K, and he did a video of it right here. You can see in the thumbnail, because this is a thing that's being pushed on mainstream media. Like you go on Instagram or TikTok, you're going to hear about this thing that took place with this Edomite and his relationship. And one thing while I was overhearing about this at work, people were talking about it, and I always had to scroll through it on my feed. A lot of people at work had like various mixed opinions on it, but none of the opinions lined up with the scriptures, because all these people, they're just following after the works of Satan. They pretty much don't see anything wrong with this, but really judgment has to go forth, because this is sin that's taking place. And when King David was putting garrisons in the land of Edom, he was pretty much subjugating them and making sure they weren't doing these diabolical things. We weren't over there forcing them to do diabolical things. We were pretty much taming them in a sense. And how's it go? Like we were pretty much dishing out judgment. And for lack of a term. But right now, like we're in the worst case scenario, because this devil is currently ruling this earth, and he's pushing that vibration. Like with the music that he pushes, it's all about this vibration that he's doing. That this is not a big deal, when this, according to the scriptures, requires death, judgment. But we're in this land of our captivity, where we're not sovereign. We're not able to perform the law, statutes, and commandments. It's the water to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai that we're under grace right now, because without Yahweh Shai, we would be out here, worthy of death. But we're doing this work in grace, because we seek the sure mercies of David. And Yahweh Shai's blood is covering us from all the wickedness that's happening down here, so long as you're actually enduring and preaching against this place. You don't want to be stuck in the ways of Babylon, and we're choosing none of her ways right now. And with this devil, because this is just one instance, this is happening in a broad scale. And if the man in the household is not with it, it's still happening. Because this world gives the women free reign to do whatever they want, and they're not going to have any remorse or I forget the word. Like they're not going to be met with like their actions they're not going to be weighed in the balance. And this society is just pretty much just proliferating anti-Hamashiach doctrine. And so I want to read this in 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 9. It says, "Know ye that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High." Because the kingdom of the Most High is for those selected few, the remnant, who are sighing and crying for the abominations that are happening. This is something that we don't want to take place on the earth. Like just another thing, because like we just finished doing the 4th of July, where all these people are shooting a bunch of firecrackers, and I had to go take care of some pets because the firecrackers give a lot of stress to these animals. And I was just thinking about the precepts about that a righteous man is going to consider what the animals are feeling, but these devils, they don't care. They want to do what they want to do and fulfill the lust of the flesh. They don't regard the life of a beast. But a righteous man is going to do these things. So the unrighteous that are down here, who are pretty much given into marriage, however they describe what marriage is, because if you ask a person down here in this society, even a simple question like what is a woman, you're going to be met with various answers. So this place is it requires judgment, because wickedness has exceedingly polluted this place. But to those who have ears to hear, we're prophesying against this place, because we know and see that all things that are happening on the news, these are just the signs of the times, just in the days of Noah. And we're the ones pretty much sticking out like a sore thumb. We're prophesying against this place, and we're not choosing its ways, and we're seeking a kingdom to come. And so I'll read this again in 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. It says, "Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High?" That's speaking about the unrighteous of our people, because they will continuously do these actions that the Lord forbids, that the Lord requires judgment for, and they'll think that no one's seeing them. But the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 brighter than the sun. Everything is going to be brought to the scales, especially during the times of judgment. And so the unrighteous, they're not going to inherit the kingdom of the Most High, because the kingdom of the Most High is going to be predicated on the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Bible speak of. And these people, that's why they want to choose this place, because in this society, you're given that doctrine of do what thou wilt. You could do whatever you want, and no one's going to question you or judge you for it. Like a lot of people say, only God can judge me. Well, that's true, but he's going to judge you for the things that you're doing, all these actions and the things that you're thinking about. So this is back in 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. It says, "Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High?" It says, "Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers." And so specifically here, this is a form of adultery. And this is how Esau gets down, by the way. But like specifically with the nation of Israel, concerning the 2/3, they will make music about getting over on another brother, from the same nation, from the same tribe. And one of the remarks is that the best way to get back at another person is to get with their woman, and that is actually adultery if you read it in the scriptures. Sleeping with another man's woman. If you read the what happened to King David, because he pretty much did this act, and he was met with judgment. And that's one of the reasons why he wasn't able to establish what King Solomon was establishing. Because King Solomon built the temple, and various other reasons. But adultery is literally running rampant in this society, and they put it in the music and in the TV shows as if it's just like a light thing. It's actually a great offense in the eyes of the Lord. So specifically with our people, this should irk you. The fact that a woman, being married to her man, is out with another man. Because that is literally sin, and we don't want that, because we're seeking the kingdom of heaven, where the laws are going to be established. They're going to go forth from the land of Israel, not like what's going on right now. Because the people that are over there right now, they're the main reasons that we're in these current predicaments. They're the reason why you turn on the TV and you're going to be met with stuff like this, just complete profanity and wickedness. But continuing on from right here, it says, "Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind." And that's a lot of people in this society, especially the 2/3 of the nation of Israel. And that's why when we go out there on the highways and hedges and we preach this good news, and we're telling you that to push off the wickedness. Like, for example, we tell them that there's a better way, and they disregard us. They close their ears, and they'll come up against us. They would rather be in the situation that they are in. And I'm gonna read this in John 3. As John 3 verse 19, it says, "And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil." And so a lot of our people, the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, their deeds are evil, especially because you just got to read here in 1 Corinthians 6 and 9, and you check this down like a list, and you got all these right here. The 2/3 of the nation of Israel are committing these things that we're commanded not to be like. It's like adultery, you check that off the list. Effeminate, you could definitely check that off the list, especially coming after last month from June. And then abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High. And this lines up to what it says in Matthew 5. Blessed are the meek. Actually, I'm gonna get that. Because this is something that was it was given to the elect, because when they hear these words, it's going to resonate with you. All right, so this is in Matthew 5, and I'll start at verse 4. It says, Matthew 5 and 4, "Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted." So those who are sighing and crying for all the abominations that are happening, because we're in this situation. The 2/3, they're from our nation. They were our brothers, our families, our sisters, even our parents, and they were committing wickedness, and still are to this day. When all you really got to do is you got to be baptized by this word. But the 2/3 are just going to disregard this word. They're not going to see it as a profitable thing to even listen to. And so continuing on verse 5, it says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger for thirst." It's like it says, "Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled." So those who are hungering for righteousness, they're going to be filled in the kingdom of heaven. When all this is said and done, when Yahushua returns and delivers those who are sighing and crying, they're going to be rewarded with the ability to actually be a priest for Yahushua. And you best believe that we're going to get busy down here, stamping out wickedness. So this is in 2 Ezra 15 and 6, because these are the times that we're in right now. We're measuring the times. You just turn on the radio and listen to the lyrics. You're measuring the times, because it's just a bunch of wickedness that's being pushed out into this world. And so as it says in 2 Ezra 15 verse 6, it says, "For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." And in verse 7 it says, "Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves." And so like right now, like we're in that in like the situation as Noah was. He was prophesying for 100 days, and that 100 days was like how we're in right now, that grace period. But then when the doors are shut, the internet gets shut down, and this word is going to be not on the highways and hedges anymore because of the famine of the word, then that grace period is going to be no more for them. It's like right now, the elect is being gathered. They're hearing this word and getting ready for the wedding. But the 2/3, they're going to continue on and scoff at us and saying, pretty much like how they were saying to Noah, that it's never going to rain, never has, never will. And right now, because that world ended with water, this one right here is going to end with fire. And that's that same rhetoric that the two-thirds will come up against us to, and say that there's not going to be a World War III, the nukes don't even exist, and we're in such a peaceful era that Russia would never turn into the USSR. We've heard it all, but ultimately the scriptures are standing firm, and we're seeing that these prophecies are speaking now louder than ever. And it's all because of wickedness exceedingly polluting this place, just as in the days of Noah. So it says, continuing on from right here, it says, "Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." So that's the mindset that the elect are going to have. We're going to be complaining continually. They're the souls of the just, because we're in this situation where we could see the oppressor doing all this wickedness, and he's getting some of our people from the nation, the two-thirds, and he's bringing them into the broad gate that leads to death and destruction. But these are the precepts that you have to read so that you're not caught in that same destruction as the two-thirds. So this is in Proverbs 3 verse 31. It reads, "Envy not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the forward is an abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous." So the secrets of the remnant is like a small thing. Not everybody is invited to this wedding. Not everybody knows about this wedding. We're telling people, but they don't really get it. They would rather choose the oppressor's ways, because to them, the wedding is every day. And the wedding that we're speaking about, it's boring, because they're serving lamb at this wedding. They're not serving pork chops, and there's not going to be any taken wives out there so that you could try to get on at. I think the kingdom of heaven is going to be with order and righteousness. Ain't going to be none of that wickedness happening in the kingdom like how it is in this place. So in verse 32 it says, "For the forward is abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just." So there's a separation here. You want to be those that are blessed in the habitation of the just, those who are sighing and crying. In verse 34, "Surely he scorneth the scorners, but he giveth grace unto the lowly." That's that grace that we're all trying to receive, because we were all in this situation up until we were baptized by this word. And that's a continuous thing, that we pray for grace and mercy, and that we endure until the end, because the elect is scarcely saved right now. We're not saved until the missiles hit, until Yahushua returns with those chariots. In verse 35 it says, "The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools." And the things that these two-thirds are doing, it's a shameful promotion. Everything that that their life revolves around is none but shame and blasphemy. It's all profane. None of what they do is found in the scriptures, with the exception of being wicked, being rebellious, like it says in the first chapter of Isaiah. You don't want to be those type of people. You don't want to be in the house of Saul. You want to be with the congregation of the tabernacle of King David. All right, so this is in Revelation 18:5. "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities." So like right now there's a bunch of sin and debauchery happening. And tomorrow there's going to be more sin and debauchery happening. Well, ultimately, the Lord is allowing this place to build up this iniquity, so that the judgment that he's going to dish out is just deserving. We could see that everything that he's been doing, it requires 200 million missiles, just as the scriptures say. All right, so I'm gonna read this precept. I'm gonna read this in the NIV. This is 2 Thessalonians 3 verse 6 in the NIV. It says, "In the name of the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, we command you, brothers and sisters, to keep away from every believer who is idle and disruptive, and does not live according to the teaching you received from us." And so the teaching is, that you're not supposed to live in a life of sin. We know that the laws are good if you do them lawfully. That's something that we preach. So like, this society is something that we're not supposed to be living on, or also investing in, because we're seeking a kingdom to come. The only thing we're doing down here is we're getting our daily bread, and we're spies pretty much. We're just scoping out the land, just as what happened, at the time of Exodus when we're going to enter into the land. All right, so the last precept I have here is so I'll read this in Psalms 26, verse 1. It says, "Judge me, O Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Lord, therefore I shall not slide. Examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart, for thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. I have not sat with the vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers. I have hated the congregation of evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked." So that's the mindset that you have to have for the 2/3. Yeah, I know it might be tough that your family members are the part of that congregation of the 2/3, but the scripture says that we're going to leave family members for this gospel, because it's this gospel or nothing. So it's easier to do that when you don't know the person, but yeah, I understand that there will be a challenge when it's someone that's like very close to you. But so that's something you got to pray and meditate on, that you have the words and the mindset to maneuver through those situations, especially when times are getting tough. So I'm gonna read this in verse 5 again. It says, "I have hated the congregation of evildoers." So you have to hate them with a perfect hatred. If they don't come into this ministry and help or work in some way or form, then they're not with us. The scripture says that we're not supposed to even give them Godspeed if they don't carry this gospel, this doctrine that we have. So we're supposed to hate the congregation of evildoers. All these rappers and people who are always just constantly partying, living their life in sin and disregarding the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Continuing on, it says, "And will not sit with the wicked. Can two walk together except they be agreed?" But verse 6, it says, Sakya. Yeah, I was just going to read verse 5. Yeah, but with that, I'd like to give honor and praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rachak Wadash, and Shalom Akim.